Welcome back to part 3 of our Frogger building tutorial, Scratch. If you haven't watched episodes 1 and 2, go do that now. Up to this point, in episode 1, we have built the movement here. Episode 2, we built the stage, the backdrop. And what I forgot to mention in part 2 was, for the nature of the game we're building here, when you build these safe zones in here, make sure your cat fits perfectly inside when he moves around. No, the cat doesn't move. When the cat moves around, that he fits perfectly inside like that. It becomes very important later on when we're going to have our cat die in the river. If he touches it and he's not on a log, so if his ears, sometimes his ears overlap. Adjust your stage, the backdrop here. Just move these pieces around. You can change the size here where it overlaps or doesn't. So we want it to be about like that. It's just fine. Okay. So today we're going to make, we're going to set up the initial conditions for the cat for when our game starts, and we're going to have a car drive across here. So we've initially set the cat to be a smaller size using the looks here and the set size to 50%. But now we're going to set up the initial starting position for our cat. Super important thing and very big time saver is you notice these numbers right here, the X value and the Y value. As I move them around, as I move the cat around, they change. But over here on these blocks, they also change. So if you're looking over here and I move the cat, you can see the numbers change. Whenever we're setting up the initial position, we just put the cat where we want it, and it automatically builds us a nice starting spot. We just drag that block out. So no matter where I put the cat, when I hit the green flag to start the game, he goes back to our starting spot. And I've got my 45 steps. So you can see here that he jumps into this safe zone. And this cat, his ears, from my initial starting spot that I've just built it, he just barely touches. So I'm going to cheat the system a little bit here and reduce this by a few pixels. So minus, I don't know, 158. Just slightly lower so that his ears are well within that spot. I could have adjusted the stage around. That would have been fine too. Let's build a car. Sorry, I got a bit of frog there. So we're going to select a car from here. I like to use this fancy purple convertible. For right now it's a little big, but we're going to fix that later on. So just like the cat, I want the car to start way over here. So I'm just going to place it there. That means my position, my starting position is already set for me. And let's build a moving car. So the beauty of computers is they will do exactly as they're told most of the time. And we want this car to repeat over and over and over again. The only thing we have in the game right now is the user inputs, which is move the cat up, down, left, and right. But to do that, the user have to keep jamming a button. That doesn't work very well for this car, which we want to move autonomously. It's not really. We're going to tell it to move. And so we're going to put in this forever loop. We could use the repeat loops right here. It gives us a set number of repeats. But we want it to go for as long as the game is running. So we're going to use the forever loop. And just like the cat moving, we're going to have it change X by 10. So when I hit the green flag it goes to that location and it forever moves X by 10, and we get a car that drives across. Okay. However, you'll notice that the car gets stuck down here. It's not a very fun game so far. So what we need to do is we need to tell the computer to check for the car's position. Right now it's stuck at 315. No matter how many times I run this, it gets stuck at 315. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in a check, a condition. We're going to build an if statement. So an if statement is a conditional, which is like a gate, that if whatever the condition is in there is met, it will run the code inside. So we are going to have the condition of if the car's X position gets high enough that the car respawns at the back over here. All right. So to do that, we're going to use in the operators, we're going to use the greater than block. If, and up in the motions, the X position is greater than, and it gets stuck at 315, so I'm just going to make it 300. If the X position of the car is greater than 300, I'm going to borrow this one, and it goes back to the start. And we have a car that repeats over and over and over again. Look at it go. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that this car is too big. I am going to make it smaller. 75. I think this would be a good size. There we go. Fits nicely on the road. Oh. But look. It only goes to 292 right now. So it never actually gets to the 300 that I initially set it to. That's easy to fix. Just change this number to 290. And there you go. So now we've got our moving car, slightly smaller. Give us some space to put a second car up here, which we'll do in the next tutorial. Okay, go build this. See you in the next one.